blood test results, and a full steroid cycle breakdown. That's what we're going to be getting into in this video, and it is shocking to say the least.
Like, the videos he's posted reminds me of the Joker tape from The Dark Knight. It feels like he's perpetually trying to cut a WWE promo targeting Joe Rogan here, but when he's doing these call-outs, it really does seem like an extreme threat against Joe Rogan's life, and a lot of it is incomprehensible. So a ton of like non sequiturs jumping all over the place, so it's incoherent.
And More Plates, More Dates, the YouTube page did a whole takedown of, not a takedown, but again, an examination of this guy's claims that he's natural and that what he's, it's like living off the 9 pillars of health and sustainability or whatever the fuck it is, like liver and testicles and drinking blood, and like it's a gimmick. In your 40s, he's preposterously jacked.
Regardless of whether you use stuff or not, like,
I don't.
Can they get a build like yours without taking them?
So I want to set the record straight. I want to expand and tell you why it's possible.
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver King. I'm like, what the fuck do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and kind of like cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
At the MGM. And then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad, because that's just what happens when you get caught lying.
A year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was all about like PEDs and steroids, right? And then, same question, same answer. I didn't touch the stuff, don't touch the stuff, right?
Joe Rogan criticized you. Joe Rogan's a big person in terms of his platform is big. How did that feel when he said, he alluded that you're on steroids or something like that?
Yeah, number one, I don't do it. And number two, what I want you to say is, you know what, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that guy, in fact, he did say he's in the 0.00001% of genetics if he does it naturally.
What is the Liver King's response to this claim that the Liver King is hormonally improved by science?
The question has always been, do you take steroids? Do you take PEDs? The answer to that is no. I've always told the truth. I still tell the truth. This is funny. People write in DMs.
Right.
And they're like, they tell me what I'm taking.
Right.
And then here's something else. I was just joking around. I would like to get your opinion on this. I thought, so again, for the record, I've never taken steroids.
Really?
I'm thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
Ancestral Tenant 10 is have a little fucking fun.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? If you've built this biological resilience, I always say, have a little poison. I'll drink, I'll do mushrooms, I'll do shit. Like every Saturday, I imbibe. I'm like, you know what? I'm healthy enough. If I want to do a cycle, I'm going to do a cycle, and how much you want to bet I turn into the Incredible fucking Hulk?
You're going to be terrified.
I want to be like this. Okay, you think this guy's on steroids, right? This is the guy who's on steroids. It's like if somebody has, let's say, 700, testosterone, free testosterone, and if they're taking steroids and they want to get up to 1,400 or 1,500 or whatever it is, guess what? You can do the same thing with the 9 ancestral tenets. And if you do the 9 ancestral tenets and you're living this way over this amount of decades, you're going to be able to produce your highest and most dominant form.
So I think they look at it and they think there's something going on here. There's gear, there's steroids, there's performance-enhancing drugs. Talk to us about, whether you use performance-enhancing drugs or steroids or anything to get this physique.
Listen, I love this question. I've been getting this question since high school, and it's done more to lift the Liver King brand and message than any other question. So I hope you asking it now continues to do the same. The short answer is no. I don't touch the stuff. But here's the deal. Isn't it just fucked up that a muscular, lean man has to justify his level of fitness, but a fat, lazy, metabolically deranged, or a skinny, fragile, osteopathically deranged, they don't have to justify their lack of fitness? Oh, Liver King, you're on steroids. You're on PEDs, and so it's like, okay, we had a lot of fun with that, and then we had a doctor come on. We made a video. If you ever Google Liver King's blood work, we had a legitimate doctor come on. We did like a blood work reveal. That was fun. But then the accusations never stopped. So I'm like, okay.
Well, I assumed you were on steroids. I was talking to one of your guys, and I was like, yeah, he's on steroids, right? Like, people don't look like that. He was like, no, he's not. And I think I'd heard Rogan say you were on steroids.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Brian Johnson, the Liver King, started in 2021 with 0 followers on any platform. but within less than 1 year, he had gained over 1 million followers on TikTok. And this was all based on what he called his 9 ancestral tenets, which he based his entire life around. These go through things such as eating raw meat, eating raw liver, and even eating raw testicles, which he claimed helped him gain his physique naturally with no steroids or any other supplements needed, and it all came from the 9 ancestral tenets. During this time, he was selling supplements which contained things like powdered bone, powdered liver, powdered meat, things like that, and these supplements were making over $100 million a year for the Liver King. And throughout all this time, his TikTok channel continued to grow. It is now at over 6 million followers with hundreds of videos and millions of views per video. Some videos have 23 million views. In this time frame, the Liver King had been on nearly all the biggest podcasts, and almost every single one had got to ask him about steroids, and every time the Liver King would decline and say that he was not on any steroids or any supplements, and it was all 100% natural and down to his 9 ancestral tenets. This was until 2024, a YouTube channel called More Plates, More Dates released a video on the 28th of November 2024 with information showing the Liver King had been on steroids for years, and in 2024 the letter was clearly showing the huge level of steroids he was taking and the increasing amount he was intending to take to continue to keep his physique.
I'm pouring ridiculous resources into making this happen, including hosting a video guy that will be living at my guest house and a film crew that will be filming 7 days a month. Stated I have to stay in great fucking shape year round. Maybe take 1 to 2 months off per year. And when he says off per year, like, he's very much implying hormone use. I've been working out for 35 years. I know how to train, eat, rest, and recover. I even have a hard shell hyperbaric chamber at my house. But as I've reached my mid-40s, it's getting harder and the back fat fucking kills me. To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope. So if you guys don't know Omnitrope, this is pharmacy-grade human growth hormone. The brand, it is created by the pharmaceutical company Sandoz, I believe it is. The 5.8 milligram vials from Empower Pharmacy, $11,000 per month for my new dose, which is 4 vials per week, 16 vials per month. So these 5.8 milligram vials, he's using 4 vials per week, 16 vials per month. What is that in international units? Most of you guys are probably more familiar with HGH dosages in international units. In general, for somatropin, recombinant HGH, 1 milligram equals 3 international units. So for each 5.8 milligram vial of Omnitrope, that has the equivalent of approximately 17.4 IU somatropin. So he mentioned 4 vials per week, 16 vials a month. I believe he mentioned in his email here, 16 vials a month. So that is going to be roughly 69.6 international units of recombinant human growth hormone per week, which is roughly 10 international units per day, which is like a fucking really, really high, super expensive dosage that, to be honest, I know bodybuilders who compete at the Open Mr. Olympia who use less pharma-grade GH than that. Like that's how high of a dose that actually is.
This was a bombshell that ended the Liver King and the Liver King empire. Huge waves of fans turned on the Liver King. People who had followed his advice literally, such as eating raw meat, eating raw liver, left in droves over this huge betrayal. Hundreds of lawsuits were submitted over the supplements he'd been selling, as they were all based on his online advice and the 9 ancestral tenets. Nearly all these lawsuits were settled out of court. In a huge effort to make a comeback, the Liver King released a documentary on Netflix which was intended to be an apology, but didn't really cover the main core of these issues until a very small section near the end. Unfortunately, the documentary did not do very well, and it didn't garner many views. He then went on in the documentary at the very end to clearly show his next attempt at his new gimmick. And now, well, the latest thing to happen was the Liver King was arrested in Texas due to multiple threats made towards Joe Rogan. The Liver King has been released in the last few weeks, but at a cost of $20,000 for bail, and we'll just have to wait to see what comes. But this very last clip I'm about to play you, I think says a lot about the state of the Liver King and where he is mentally right now. There is something clearly and very wrong with the once great Liver King.
Good morning, primals. From the vibration plate of the greatest state in the world, Austin, Texas. Texas is the state, just to be clear. Bags under my eyes, haven't slept a whole lot. And it's been an amazing gift. When you fracture the physical, don't sleep, don't eat much, drink much. You go deeper into something else. You gotta maybe express something else.